Hello and welcome to The Root of All Real Estate. I'm your host, Etienne Mellor, owner of 3 real estate agencies with 20 plus years of experience generating over 20 million in yearly gross revenue. I'm very happy to have you join us today. Whether you're a seasoned real estate agent, a business owner, a first-time home buyer, or just curious about the latest market trends, we've got something for everyone. Now let's get started.
You're listening to The Root of Itisha Chowdhury. But there's another, I thought this was going to be my last pageant because I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. But I was reached out by Miss Galaxy Canada, and they want me to participate. It's soon. It's very soon. So it's on the 25th. It starts on the 25th. It's until the 28th.
Of October.
Of October.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Same idea, voting online?
This one, no. There's no voting online. This one is strictly judges and Q&A.
At the event itself, is there a crowd of people?
Yes.
Do they vote or no? It's just
Yes, they do. They do vote. So crowd of people, like in the audience, vote. There's no judging. There's no voting for this one, like Miss Universe Canada. But there's going to be multiple categories like best dress, best swimsuit, best body, best.
Which is also the same as no?
Voila.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you changing anything in these different categories? Like, did you try certain things this time with Miss Universe that you're gonna now maybe think, oh, I'm gonna tweak this and that, this category for the Miss Galaxy?
Miss Galaxy. Yes, I did, of course. Miss Universe Canada was a big learning experience for me. I learned a lot. I actually took a lot of criticism. Obviously people didn't come up to me and told me, this, that. So I just took it as certain things that I noticed about myself. So I grew from that, right? So I believe that, we all have rooms to grow, right? And everything is a learning process. So I took Miss Universe Canada as a big learning experience, and Miss Galaxy, although it's not as big as Miss Universe, but again, I think I can do this one.
Yeah. And when can you record? Was it recorded, the Miss Universe,
Yeah.
so that you can watch yourself?
Yeah.
And
No.
like see, oh, maybe I don't know the way I talked. Like when we record ourselves.
Yeah. The
I
entire thing
watch
is recorded.
after some. Well, not always because I do so much, but I do sometimes. If I do a live, I'm gonna see how I talk because it's one thing to see yourself from when you're doing the thing versus watching from the screen. So. You did that exercise?
Yeah,
already?
absolutely. I always take myself as I always like to learn. I think there's always room to learn, and the biggest lesson is you get from learning, right? So
Well, that's why you're competing in these things, no?
Yeah.
It's the you wanna
experience.
and you wanna better yourself and do better, and because these are minute tweaks, I'm assuming, that you're doing. It's not major things to change from. So how many people will be competing in this event?
In this one, I don't know, to be quite honest, because I didn't really look into it. Again, I don't want to know the number, or I just want to go for the experience. And if I win, I win. But this one is mostly, again, because I already did Miss Universe Canada. And also the reason why I'm telling you this is because I haven't announced it publicly yet.
Oh, no?
No. So I was waiting for the podcast and the release of the podcast to, make a big announcement.
Well, there you go.
For my followers.
But is there a way for us to participate or to encourage in a way, or not really? And because it's not like the other one, we could vote online. Now this time.
No. You can just send me your best wishes, and next time when I come to your office, I'll just have a crown.
There you go. Oh, the crown. There you go. But yeah.
Yeah.
And so the crown comes with other responsibilities in
Absolutely.
this case. Same thing.
Same thing.
For a year.
For a year, it comes with different responsibilities, and then after a year, I get to go compete for Miss Galaxy. So this one is for Miss Galaxy Canada, and then I will be competing for.
Same idea, Miss Universe World. No, I don't know what it's called, but it's not just the country. And when is that? No, or when would that be the one for
So that's for next year. And I believe, actually, no, that's not next year. That happens in the summer. So that would be 2025 while I'm still Miss Galaxy Canada. I'll be competing for Miss Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so that, well, again, we don't know the details
we
yet,
don't know
but
the details.
that's going to be another exciting. Yeah, I'm sure that you'll do great in this time. And
Thank you.
when you look at how to, yeah, I'm going to use the word practice, but it's not really like. Is there things you can practice? Is there like what would be something that you think to yourself? Okay, I gotta practice, or I don't know,
The walk.
the walk.
The walk is a challenge. It's a well, as you know, my height is a factor. So obviously, I have to have the highest heels that exist. So I have like these huge heels.
So that the practice on
Yeah.
how did it go last time? Was that at one place where you felt it wasn't as perfect as I could have?
My heels weren't high enough.
Is that did they
Yeah.
tell you this or
No, they
no?
don't tell you this, but I that's what I learned actually because when I looked at everybody else's heels, I was like, okay, maybe mine could have been a little higher because of my height. Already, I'm not too tall. But that didn't really actually bother me because I always had insecurity about my height. But when I went there, beautiful women competing against them and they're tall and perfect bodies. So I was like, you know what, I will take this as a learning experience.
Yeah.
And yes, everybody has insecurities, that's normal, but at the same time you have to learn how to grow out of your insecurities and just do what you love.
And being there, talking to everybody else that you're competing against, are they friendly? Is it some atmosphere of yes, you're competitors, but is it is there some compassion for everybody? Like everybody understands what it means or what it required to get there.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, I made friends, and pageant sisters are amazing. Some you don't connect with because it depends. Me, I go with energy. As long as I connect energy
Hmm.
wise, like that's
I
my,
think it's a good way. It's you
yeah,
got to stay positive and
exactly, exactly. But with some, I became really good friends with, and I'm still friends with them. We go out for dinner, drinks, and yeah, so it's in a way you're making friends and friends that will last for a long period of time. So it's just another experience. I mean, working at a law firm, being a law teacher, uh this is another domain, but then being in a modeling industry or doing these pageantry stuff, I think, like, for me, it's just an experience. It's a way of meeting people and try to understand different personality. It's basically a
you
learning
get
process.
more opportunities in the modeling on the modeling side of things when you do these kinds of events or if you win these types of things. Does it help propel you to get more opportunities and or not really?
Yeah, I want to
Mm.
say yes. I want to say yes because after Miss Universe Canada, I did see a difference on my social media. I had people reaching out to me asking to collaborate, and obviously, I want to support the local,
Yeah.
more than anything. So local businesses, small businesses are my biggest, inspiration because I also started very small. So definitely you do get business opportunities. You get
So people reaching out and
yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
great. So
yeah,
it's not I mean it's multi-purposed. It's for self-improvement. It's for the opportunities that can come with.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I guess in a way to combine it all.
Yeah.
Um, where do you see the next step though? Is there a next step? Like the Miss Galaxy pageant is is there any others? Because I didn't even know there was a Miss Galaxy. Is there more? Is there other possibilities of
So there are different categories, and as I thought, and as I told you, that I thought Miss Universe Canada was going to be my last,
hmm,
but because I was reached out by Miss Galaxy Canada director, she convinced me. I took a little bit of time. I said, let me think about it. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, why not? I
Yeah.
already have the
Yeah.
experience. And I feel like these things are addictive.
Well, yeah, I guess it is in a way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
competition.
It's competition, and I like that. I want to keep going, and I just see things in a positive way too.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about, opportunities, and now I thought, is there a can you help other people to get in? Like someone that's thinking, maybe watching this and be like, hey, I'd love to. How do I get going?
Yeah.
Is there coaches or mentors or?
So these are two questions. So I cannot help people get in, but I can
Because you're
coach them. I can teach them.
oh,
I
okay, okay.
can, maybe I've done this before actually. Like I was coaching someone with the modeling walk. Uh, yeah, I can coach people, but yeah, no, I cannot get people in simply because this goes through a selection process.
No, I meant more like, let's say I want to get in. Well, not me, but
Yeah, yeah,
one wants to go into the pageantry. I don't know if that's what you call it,
yeah.
but would love to have someone with your experience come and say, this is what I did, or I think you should do, or
Yeah.
whatever you've gained as knowledge and experience, to pass that back on to someone, so that
Absolutely.
next person develops quicker. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think that's possible. That's doable. I just haven't done that yet.
Plus,
I
you're a
mean,
teacher. You
yeah,
must like to share and help
absolutely.
and.
Yes, 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 exactly. Share my knowledge. If ever, any of my friends or my siblings, they want to start doing this in the long run, then I would be the best person, I guess, to give
And
them advice.
I will be your agent. I will take 10% of the fee.
Yes,
I'll-
exactly.
No, but that's an idea, no?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Miss Galaxy Canada will be my last one because I don't see myself doing this over and over every year. Hopefully, I'll come back with a crown.
But why? Because it's very demanding, or
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
uh,
it's time consuming, and it's not that I know a lot of people that are dedicated, and a lot of the women that I met at Miss Universe Canada, they're very dedicated to
it's a full time.
it's a full-time thing for them, but I don't have that kind of time, especially with two jobs. So I don't have that kind of time. I would love to because I do like doing these
Yeah,
things, but I don't see myself doing this in the long run.
repeatedly.
Yeah, repeatedly. I actually went to my doctor's yesterday and I found out that I have this cyst growing in my body and I might need a surgery. So I had a little breakdown moment yesterday. But it was a very quick breakdown moment, I will
Well,
tell
that's
you
stressful.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite I cried a little bit, but then I got over it and I said, you know what? It's okay. It's a process, and I will get over this. And this morning when I woke up, I told myself it's gonna be a great day.
It is. Well, it is a great thing. Why
Yeah,
not? It's true, but
exactly.
that's the mindset to have. I guess. I mean, it's easier said than done, but
Yeah,
with anything, I think we all have things every day and struggles, and that we need to tell ourselves it's
yeah,
still going to be okay, and
yeah,
to look at the positive of what we have to, even though it's sometimes hard when you get this kind of news.
exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly. I just threw it in there. It's just because I felt like this is something that I wanted to let out,
sure.
and it's also I feel that it's also inspiring because although you're sick or that something's happening and you need a surgery or whatsoever, because I was born with a hole in my heart, so my life hasn't been easy. So I had to fight for everything that I achieve, and at birth I had to fight for to
Which
live.
already is hard enough to just get life going
Exactly.
as a little baby, and then
Exactly.
having that on top of it.
Exactly. And this is another phase, and this shall pass too, right? So this is just how I see it. And if I can inspire others by saying this, nobody likes to have health issues.
No,
Nobody wants to go through it.
we realize how fragile it is when something happens. When
Exactly.
we're not even. I mean, it's kind of stupid compared to what you're going through. But my cold last week was like I'm home in my bed for a full week, and I'm thinking, what You know, and like if it was a serious thing, and those that have serious diseases that prevents them from going to work and doing the daily things that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one life, very fragile, and we have to, I think, focus on all of the positive as much as possible when we can.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's how I see it. Like, I mean, I was so close to canceling today's interview, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm down for it. But, I told myself that it is what it is. This is already in me and it's growing. I might need a surgery. But then again, what am I learning from this? I'm just learning from, I feel that I'm learning being strong. This is just another phase and I just have to go through it. If a surgery is needed, will happen.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. And here I am. So I think that's what I want to do. I want to motivate people. I want to let them know that regardless of what you're going through, today is a blessing. So
100%.
You're here. You're meant to be here.
And I think that social media is a great way of doing that. Not just, a lot of people misuse it, I think, for the wrong reasons. But another example is that I go to the gym in the morning and I post my results on my stories. Some people say, well, why do you do that? Why do you do that? You're bragging. I'm not bragging. I'm trying to inspire someone to be like, maybe I should also do it. Because I get inspired by things that I see, people working out, as an example, people succeeding, people getting great results, people buying a nice thing and being proud that, hey, I did it, I achieved it. You
can do it.
Achieving the top 20. These are things that instead of looking at it as she's bragging or no, it's inspiring.
It's inspiring.
It's the way you perceive it, and so I think this is great that you're actually saying it, and maybe someone watching is going through something and being like, you know what, I'm gonna get up today and I'm gonna still go do whatever, and
make the best out of it, right? It is inspiring, and I like how you said it, that it's people will say whatever they want to say. Sometimes it's not about what people think, it's all about what you think and what makes you feel good. Right? I mean, I've heard people say, oh yeah, you already have a great job, you're a teacher, you're working at a law firm, like what are you doing, like why are you into all of this, and it's not about what people think about me, it's about what I think about myself and how I want to do this. I could just say, yeah, my life just ends right here, like I have a good job, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but then am I really doing what I want to do?
and
that's
are
the
you
question.
at your full potential?
Exactly, because I have other potential. I can walk, I can walk
Yeah,
on stage. I can wear those high heels. It's a talent. It's a
I'm sure it is. If you know for yourself that you are not, I think that's, but it's for me, that's what it is. It's, I know I have the potential for more. I know I could be more. And so it's, for me, but I know that at the same time, if it can, the why I would want to show it, it's not for ego, it's for
inspiring. Exactly.
It inspires me. So I'm sure there's other people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those that complain, those that criticize, those I call them the quitters. It's because they quit on something and they feel bad when they're talking to themselves about whatever they're saying that's negative.
People will say whatever they want to say. And for me, it's really being positive, self-learn, and it's all about also give, right? I mean, I have all this within me, but then if I don't share with others, how am I going to share? Like, what am I doing to share or give?
Don't be selfish.
Don't be selfish.
Don't just
give out your positive vibe, into the universe.
And if everybody or more people were not just taking care of their needs and themselves and their well-being, but looked at the community or the world or look at what's going on. I mean, if there's more giving, if there's less selfishness, then I think it's a better world.
It's a better world.
Not be a better world.
Absolutely. Giving is a big factor. Like, you have to give, because all we keep doing is like receiving, and we expect people to give. But then at the same time, what are you doing? Like, what is your purpose?
I have a theory, though. Well, it's not a theory, but it's, if I can't take care of my basic needs for me and my family, it's going to be hard for me to take care of others. Right? So we got to
first
Take care of
be
ourselves.
selfish
Yeah,
and take care of ourselves and make sure, but not stop there.
Yeah.
And then once we feel that we're taking care of ourselves, is to keep on going if we can, if we have the potential,
Yeah.
and to keep on giving to others.
And I agree. And I also follow that rule, because you have to take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of others. Because if you cannot take care of yourself, or if you're not well yourself, then how can you give?
Someone's gonna give.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully, if whoever's watching this, this can be an inspiring video for them, and they can see that, although you have health issues, or although you have obstacles in life, life just doesn't stop there.
No.
You still have this day to live. Make the best out of it, because tomorrow is not promised, right?
It's gonna maybe rain today, but it doesn't always rain every day. So
Exactly.
it's just a question of toughening it out.
Yeah, like get up and go do what you gotta do. Again, like I honestly was I had a bad day yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. After I got the news from my doctor, and
Well, it's not gonna be always good. It's not gonna be always good days and sunny days. It's impossible.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm gonna call Etienne and I'll tell him that I can't do this. But then I was like, the word can't. That didn't sound right. That didn't sit right with me. I'm like, why can't I?
I like
mean,
that.
I can still walk, I can still eat, I can still talk. Yes, I'm not feeling 100%, but then, like I'm still gonna go do what I
But
have to
that
do.
discipline, let's call it that, right?
Yeah.
It's discipline.
Yeah,
It comes from
absolutely.
where though? Because you have to compete in these kinds of things and do what you've done. You need that discipline.
Yeah.
Has it always been? Have you always been a disciplined person?
No, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I have not. But it's a process. You have to. It's mind exercise. Like
But
you
but
have to.
how did you get to the process? Like what was the trigger, if anything? Like,
That's a very interesting question. And I think it all started with my talents, right? So I'm also a dancer. Like I dance Indian Bollywood dance. I don't know if you know a little bit.
well, I'm assuming I know, but probably. I mean,
Yeah, you can see some of my videos. So I grew up dancing, and I was part of a group.
oh yeah,
And
okay.
yeah, I was going to school at the same time as I was, doing these concerts. And I think how it started was the discipline started with all of that. And when I realized that people actually like what I do, and my talent means something, it motivated me. It motivated.
To better yourself, to
Yes.
become better at it at the
Yes, exactly. To keep going,
Yeah.
to improve, to learn, to improve, because you can only improve by learning, right? So I was able to take some classes. I do have, the movements. I do have the potential, but I can only succeed by learning, right? So I had to learn more about dance. I had to learn more about how I can improve myself. So I think all the discipline and all of that really started with
from
that.
there.
From
Yeah.
there.
Well, that makes sense.
And then obviously when I started working at the law firm, my as I told you in our last video, it was my formal boss that saw potential
Yes.
in me, where he paid for my law school, and he was really rooting for me. So I think seeing that from people, seeing that I matter and I have a lot of good qualities.
You want to in turn make them proud or right with their decision to
Yeah.
encourage or help. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think my biggest goal was to make my former boss proud, who's my mentor. And I kept going. I kept going. So I worked with him for 6 years. And within that 6 years, I've learned so much. My life has changed drastically. So I went from, the artist life into corporate life to business
Which
life.
is quite an extreme.
But I love everything that I do, everything that I learned from my former boss, everything that that he gave me, and not financially, but more as knowledge. So I took
Yeah.
all of that, and I'm like, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have all these
But
talents.
I mean, I have a question now. I'm thinking, well, what's going to be the next thing? Because you said it, you gotta keep learning, you gotta keep growing, you gotta keep developing, challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Do you already have something that you're thinking about? Maybe you don't want to talk about it, but do you have a thing that's
I do actually. I do have a plan in mind, but I don't know how far I can do this. But I believe in myself. I want to start an organization, and I want to. Um, it's more about for people like me, people from my culture, my background. I mean, it could be other people from different background as well. It doesn't have to be my background, but more like people like me that has a lot within them, but they just don't know how to show or how to go out there
take
and
it and progress or
progress and run
move
with
forward?
it,
Yeah,
they move forward. Exactly. These are the words. So, I want to encourage women, men from different generation, from different background, that insecurities are there. Everybody has insecurities. That's very normal. But what do you do with that? You could use it as an asset. You can use it as a powerful tool.
Wow.
How?
Well, let's say, I mean, no. Someone's watching this thinking, I don't have that confidence. I would never be able to do what you're doing, and like, what would be maybe the one thing that person could do today or
Yeah.
work on today to have more confidence?
Being positive. To be honest, being positive is everything. You have to always, again, by nature, I'm a very positive person. I don't think negative. I don't talk negative. I always say positive things, and I try to do positive things. So, I mean, it is a battle though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's
Oh, yeah.
hard sometimes. It's a mental battle. Like, for example, yesterday when I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the doctors. I don't know what the doctor will say. However, like, I will try my best to, stay.
But you don't start thinking of the worst. Well, you think a bit of the potential, but
It's
you don't
normal.
stay there too long. You try to when it
Whatever.
happens, you want to refocus to no, it's gonna be fine, and
Exactly.
and that's not easy. I mean,
That's not easy because it's a mental battle, so yeah, I try to focus on the whatever the outcome is will be, because that's life. We're all human beings. It's normal. But then you have to kind of work it's all within you.
So you're saying,
Yeah.
well, my interpretation is if I lack confidence somehow, or something's preventing me, it's really fear, it's anxiety, it's creating the worst case scenario really for the future.
Exactly.
And that's what's preventing me from.
And that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, I
If you're
agree.
insecure about your height, fine. Like, it is this is you. This is how you were made, But that didn't stop me from competing in Miss Universe Canada.
Yeah.
That didn't stop me from competing for the other pageants. I was a model at Fido, at KGG, at Sun Life. I have a commercial video with Sun Life. At first, they did say though, like, my height and everything.
But it didn't stop you.
It didn't stop me, and I applied, and they accepted, and I have a commercial for Sun Life going on right now. So
So there you go. So if someone's saying to themselves, I think it's the change from the negative to the positive. There's a book I read about that. I think it's been a long time, but the lady that wrote The Secret was a popular book about the laws of attraction. But she wrote another book,
yes.
which I forget the name, but this other book was about focusing on, but it's gratitude, I guess, focusing on the good in our lives.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a big component. I don't remember, so it's maybe 10 years ago when I read the book, and it really helped. I mean, I thought it was kind of stupid at the beginning, just to say, I'm happy because I have a nice home, I have a heated home, I have water whenever I want, like simple things, but it really does do something for the way we look at things. And
it's a mind, it's a mind game. Definitely reading helps, whenever I'm going through certain things. I try to read positive books. And it's a mind game, and you have to kind of like play with it. You know, it's
Yeah.
easy to go in the deep dark hole
And stay in
and
that
stay there.
state. Yeah.
But then how many people can actually get out of there and just do what they
And
gotta
you know,
do?
that's also why I think getting up early with at the similar same time every day, because these little tiny wins give you, it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh, I did it. And then going to the gym, even if it's not long sessions of 5 hours,
Yeah.
just 30 minutes, I did it. I feel great. You know, you do also physically feel great.
Yeah.
So it helps with your mental state.
Mental state. Absolutely. I'll tell you something. The other day, I wasn't feeling too good, and I'm like, yeah, but so I do these exercise classes, and they're twice a week. No, actually 3 times, but I only go twice. Um, and it's a bunch of girls, women, you know, working out together. So it's very fun, right? For me, at least, like I find it very amusing. And I don't see it as workout, exercise, and like, you know, fatigue.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I see it
It's
as
more of a
something
fun, but you're
Yeah.
getting your exercise
Yeah,
in. Yeah.
exactly. So the other day, last week, I was is when I found out about
Yeah.
the complication that I'm having, right? And I did not feel like going to work out at all, you know? And what do I do? Do I go? Do I not go? You know, it was a mental battle. I went. I still went. Although I wasn't 100%, you know,
No.
mentally, I was
Yeah.
mentally drained. It had nothing to do physical. I went in there. I, you know, laid down my yoga mat and I took all the equipment that I need to take. Everybody's working out, but you see me doing it really slow. But you know what? I was extremely proud of myself even doing that, because the fact that I went there,
Yeah.
the fact that, you know, I did what I had to do, although like I wasn't working out, I wasn't doing 50 squats.
No.
You know, I did 2, and that was an achievement for me. So after I left, I felt very proud of myself, because I'm like, if I didn't go, I would feel bad. But the fact that
Or
I
much
went,
worse.
oh, much worse,
Yes.
exactly. But the fact that I went there, I was able to meet up with the other women and, you know, talk to them, or even just say hello. You know, I didn't go into details about how I'm feeling
No.
or I'm having a bad day, you know, just saying hello, how are you, you know, and then it's just those little things I see as an encouragement, you know.
Well, I'm very happy that you came today, and because now I feel encouraged and motivated, and no, it's for real, because it's, you know, you sometimes feel alone in your daily mental challenges of, no, I got to keep on going, I got to stay positive. But when you hear what you just said and what you're going through, and you're still here and you're still going, and it just gives me personally a bit of fuel, a bit of energy. So
I'm glad.
if it's just for me that you did it, I'm very happy and I'm thankful. But I'm sure that a lot of people will see this and have the same positive feeling. So thank you
I hope so
again
too.
for coming here.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me, really.